My dear radiant woman, I'm here today because I wanted to remind you that it's completely okay to make mistakes. In fact, I've yet to meet a person who hasn't made at least one mistake in their lives that they regret. So the question really isn't whether you make a mistake or not. It's what do you do when you make a mistake? You know, society teaches us that we should be ashamed of our mistakes, and when we become ashamed of our mistakes, we often make those mistakes about who we are, and we become ashamed of ourselves. And then we start hiding. We don't want other people to be able to kind of show us what we already know, which is that there's something wrong with us. And our brain goes into a defensive mode. And when that happens, we can't really learn anything. So when our brain stops looking for opportunities, when it's in a defensive mode of pulling back, we stop learning to actually learn what's required in that situation to move on from it and to heal from it. And it's just because we're ashamed. It's literally because we are ashamed of the mistake that we made, and then we think that we should be ashamed of ourselves too. So we can't heal. And then we get stuck in this kind of cycle of shame leading into self-condemnation, leading into more shame. You know, the more we focus on that mistake, the more ashamed of ourselves we start feeling, and the more we judge ourselves for the mistake, the more we feel like there's something to be ashamed of. And this cycle just continues. And if we want to break that cycle, we have to learn that making mistakes is an important part of all of our growth journeys. You know, if you'd become ashamed of falling down the first time you tried to walk, how would your life look? Probably very different. So to break this cycle, we really need to learn that it's okay, not only okay to make mistakes, it's necessary to make mistakes. You know, I was recently speaking with a dear friend of mine in the US, who we don't really agree on anything politically, but it doesn't mean that we don't love each other and respect each other. And they got swept up by a politician, or this really charming political leader, and no amount of kind of evidence that was given to her about him actually being a criminal would, you know, convince her. Not that I don't try to convince people. I think people are intelligent enough to make their own decisions about everything. But it took her, in her own words, it took her a really long time to be convinced, or that nothing felt like would convince her of seeing this person for who they really were. You know, that she'd put all her hopes and dreams into the words of this politician, and felt like this politician understood her and would stand up for her and would drive her causes, the things that were important to her. And then when she realized that she had actually been lied to by that politician, she was devastated. She was devastated. And she didn't for the longest time feel like it was safe to say how she was feeling. And she told me that it took her a really long time to actually admit that that this is what had been going on. she's surrounded by rabid supporters of this particular politician. And, she was feeling that if she said anything, if she questioned any of this person's motives, that she would be outcast, because she'd seen that happen to other people. She felt that she'd be at least belittled, if not attacked, and she was afraid for her life. And she didn't feel like it was safe to say anything. When she realized that she'd been lied to, she felt like she had to double down to convince herself that she hadn't been lied to. But as she said, the evidence eventually was too much not to ignore, or too much to ignore. So she said, she came to the conclusion that I have been lied to. I have been lied to, and my trust has been abused, and my finances have been abused by this lying politician. So she reached out to me and we had a conversation, because she knew I wouldn't judge her, but she had to get to the point of really knowing that she could have that conversation. This person is one of the most compassionate people I know. And that really is the trick, isn't it? These predatory people, they know exactly how to engage the hopes and the dreams of others, especially the compassionate people, for their own means. And then what do you do? What do you do when you realize that you're being lied to? How do you actually get out of that situation, especially if you're surrounded by people who don't agree with your view? The way forward is not shame. Obviously, I think we've covered that. I think you, as an intelligent person, understand that. The way forward is really learning from our mistakes, and the way forward is the learning to engage with all kinds of information, not just the biased information that is in our own particular echo chamber. It's to engage with all the information from every direction so that we can make a balanced decision for ourselves. The road to hell is paved with bias and tribalism, because as long as we can't feel safe to disagree, we create hell on earth for ourselves and for others. It's just as simple as that. And knowing this, if any of this spoke to you and you feel, hey, I might be on that same boat, or, I might feel ashamed of something that I feel like I can't talk about, or now I don't want to talk about now because I'm afraid of being attacked, then please know that I hear you. I see you. I see that every day of my working life. Every day. We should not be alone with our shame. Shame grows in the darkness. It's like mushrooms. So knowing this, what are you going to do going forward? Are you willing to learn from your mistakes rather than go into that cycle of self-condemnation and shame? Are you able to pull away from the tribalism, not in a way that will put you into danger, but in a way that just kind of you start quietly saying, yeah, okay, and, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, can we talk about something else? To start redirecting that energy, that negative energy that's been abusive toward you, away from you, in a way that it doesn't escalate. So, are you able to start quietly pulling away from that tribalism and start believing what people do, not what they say? If you observe someone long enough, you can see exactly who they are. They don't have to tell you anything. And anybody trying to tell you who they are trying to probably make a point because their behavior shows that they're something entirely different. Let people's actions show you who you are, who they are. And when you take time to heal from your mistakes, you own the mistakes. You say, hey, I had this. I made this mistake. I thought it was like this. It turned out to be like this. I feel ashamed of myself. If you do it in a safe space, you can heal. And when you heal, you can show others who you are. And who you are is a brave, incredible, compassionate, caring, authentic human being who wants everyone to succeed. And you're showing that as an example of who you are through your actions, not through your words, through your actions. You're incredible. Every human being is a miracle of thought and feeling. And that includes you. I see my fellow humans and co-creators in the space as like deliverers. I don't know if that's a word. Delivery people, delivery men and women, people, folks of compassion and beauty in the world. And if you share your journey into becoming more of who you are, even if that means sharing your mistakes, the mistakes that you've made, you will absolutely encourage others and empower others to do the same. We can break this cycle, this shame and quiet cycle. You have that power. We all have that power. So, when we know better, we do better. And if you now feel like you've had some epiphanies throughout this video, and you feel like sharing it with people that you want to see heal and grow and actualize into who they really are, if you hear even a voice of doubt around tribalism, and if you hear anybody feeling like they've been lied to, forward this video to them. Forward, this love letter from me to you, to them. Because they too have that power to be that inspirational person. So, with all my love today, it's Wednesday morning as I'm making this video. I say, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for doing this work and being and becoming the person that you are. We need you to be exactly you. I'll see you at the next video.